What do you think about Mississippi? This is your first time in Mississippi. Did you sleep okay? Yeah? You want to say hello to everybody? Gonna get out and see a few things and take you guys along for the day. It's gonna be pretty fun. Hi everybody, welcome to the World of Micah. Gonna be in and around the northern part of Mississippi today, near Starkville, Columbus, that area. Not too far from here, Starkville, Mississippi is actually where Abby and I first met. Today we're gonna get out. I'm gonna show you guys a few things here that I found kind of interesting. You guys are gonna get to tag along now. Before we get started, click that subscribe button if you're new. It'll keep you updated with my latest video. If you would like to support my channel, my Patreon link is down below. Be sure and check that out. Now, let's take a closer look. Back on the road. Just look at this. Miles and miles of trees. Just blows my mind. I'm sure there are places like this in Florida, just not in my neck of the woods where I live, where Abby and I live. You don't really see a whole lot of this where we live. There's more hotels, restaurants, attractions, things of that nature. Made it into the town of Columbus. Just gonna kind of show you guys around the town today. A few stops, a few things that'll be really cool to talk about, but right now we're gonna be just driving around the town. Take a look at this old antique shop. That doesn't scream classic Mississippi. I don't know what does. The way the building's built, the things they built it with, and the old Coca-Cola sign up there. Pretty cool. And I bet you the person who owns it probably lives in that house right there. It's a quick commute to work. There's a sign saying that the owner is across the street. The sign says, "I am across the street. Call," and they have the number below. So if you want to buy something, all you gotta do is just call him. He'll walk over and sell you what you want to get. Now this mural on the side of this building right here has been kind of washed away over time, but that was a Coca-Cola advertisement at one point. But we're making our way up here. This is 5th Street that we are heading up to. Good old downtown Columbus, Mississippi. People are out here painting the boxes, keeping everything looking fresh and new. Look at this. Good old school downtown area. This is the kind of stuff I do miss about living in Mississippi. Towns that kind of look like this. There's a cafe right over here called Cafe on Main, home style cooking. That's exactly what that is. Delicious, absolutely delicious food. And look at the architecture over here. It kind of reminds you of something you would see like on Main Street, USA. And we actually are on Main Street. Main Street, downtown Columbus, Mississippi, in the USA. Take a look at this. The Columbus Packet, established 1991. And the West Alabama Gazette, established 1976. There's a lot of old steamboats like this that used to come through this area. But right across the street here, I wanted to show you guys, this entire building is painted with advertisements. Look at this. The whole thing was a big advertisement at one time. Kind of awesome. This is the kind of stuff that gets me really excited. I love getting out and seeing old town squares and things that just look like they've been sitting here for years. They're well kept. People keep them updated and things like that, but there's a sense of just a almost a pause in time. Lots of history down here. Lots of history on these sidewalks, these buildings. Now this right here, what we are on, is called Catfish Alley. This is a part of the Mississippi Blues Trail. I visited a few of the places on the Mississippi Blues Trail before. The reason they called this Catfish Alley is because local fishermen would bring their catches to town to be cooked and sold in the street. Booka White, one of the blues musicians, sang of the good times about this town in his 1969 recording, Columbus, Mississippi Blues. And this right here is Catfish Alley, where we are walking right now. The fishermen would bring their catfish here, sell them inside the juke joints and the old clubs. I'm sure you would have Mississippi bluesmen down here singing songs and playing all through the evening until the wee hours of the morning, because the jukes never really closed. I believe they would close right as the sun was coming up. I feel like I could meet up with Booka White or Howlin' Wolf right down this alley, hang out and listen to a song or two. Or maybe they'd be right here, right along the businesses here. There's a mural across the street here, kind of giving you a sense of history and the atmosphere that is Catfish Alley. Pretty awesome, man. Doing majority of the filming from the car, but if I do get out and film something, it'll be something that's out in the open. And as you can see, not a whole lot of people out today. So social distancing will be practiced today. All right, next stop is gonna be here inside Friendship Cemetery. Driving through the gates now. Some history here and a few people buried here that have a really cool story. There's also some haunted things that have happened within this cemetery. Now the first thing we're going to talk about is kind of one of those folk tales, one of those things that people talk about during Halloween. As you see, we're on the corner of Magnolia and Elm Street. We're not going to be finding any Freddy Kruegers out here, but we will find the weeping angel over here, and it is said that the angel does switch her hands. Right now, her left hand is out front, but it has been reported that she will switch hands that are draping over the tombstone. The grieving angel is the most photographed lady in all of Columbus, Mississippi. She's on postcards, all kinds of different things. But this is Friendship Cemetery in Columbus, Mississippi. A very large cemetery, lots of history here. The next stop is straight ahead, where most say Memorial Day was actually started here. It is said that Memorial Day was started here. There are other stories that circulate about that topic, but over here is one of the main spots where they say Memorial Day was started. So this is the story. During the Civil War, Columbus was a hospital town where soldiers, both Confederate troops and Union prisoners of war, were taken. The town had a cemetery that people now know today as Friendship Cemetery, where we are right now. After the war, on April 25th, 1866, 4 women from Columbus decided to celebrate this day, originally called Decoration Day, by decorating the graves of Confederate soldiers with flowers. One of the ladies, Augusta Sykes, whose husband and brother-in-law had been killed in the war, she asked the question, how can we expect the northern states to honor Confederate graves if we don't honor the Union graves here? This brought about the change to basically make it okay to put flowers on the Confederate and Union graves. The Columbus tradition was picked up and sent nationwide. At the cemetery, one side of the graves had a Confederate flag and the other side had an American flag. With war being over, everyone is an American. Though the exact birthplace and origin of Memorial Day may be disputed, the fact remains it stands to honor and remember American fallen soldiers, sailors, Marines, and airmen. So all of these graves you see here are unknown Confederate soldiers. All of these. That's absolutely mind-blowing. And then right up here, there are 4 different graves, different men whose names they knew to be able to put on the graves. And right here is a plaque, the site of First Decoration Day, Columbus, Mississippi, April 25th, 1866, erected by John Foster, Society of CAR, 1932. And then there's a Confederate soldier right up there. Also buried here is a man by the name of Joshua Catfish, nickname Meter, who worked within the animation department for Walt Disney. Some of his films that he worked on include Fantasia, Snow White, Bambi, 20,000 Leagues Under the Sea. This man did a lot of stuff, and he is actually buried here in Columbus, Mississippi. He was a special effects artist, animator, and animation director for the Disney studio. This is the headstone here, Joshua Lawrence Meter. And that's his wife next to him, Elizabeth Meter. Now Joshua grew up here in Columbus, Mississippi, and he passed away August 25th, 1965. And Josh Catfish Meter and his wife are buried somewhere here in Friendship Cemetery. Little Disney connection, even though I'm far away from both California and Florida. These houses are definitely southern, that's for sure. But then again, it does kind of look like anywhere town USA. Well, Friendship Cemetery was a lot of fun. I wish I could have found Josh's grave. Maybe one day I'll be able to find it, but we're gonna stop over here and grab some coffee at a place called the Coffee House on Main Street. You gotta love a good local coffee house. We're gonna grab it to go. So this is the Elvis Frappe. Normally, I don't do frappe. I do iced coffee, regular coffee. But when in Mississippi, gotta get some good old-fashioned Elvis stuff in. This is peanut butter, banana. It's good. It's really good. Well, I think our adventure for today has come to an end, but do not worry, we're gonna be going out and filming more stuff in the great state of Mississippi for the next few weeks. So every day you'll get a new episode here on the channel. Some days will be longer, some days will be shorter than others. It just all depends on what's going on and what we're doing. But now it's time to say goodbye. But if you enjoyed today's episode, please give me a big thumbs up. Do some research on Friendship Cemetery here in Columbus, Mississippi, or just Columbus, Mississippi in general. Lots of historical things in this neat Mississippi town. All my links are down below. I will see you guys tomorrow on a brand new episode of World of Micah. Until then, stay weird, stay safe, and stay healthy. Goodbye.